Okay, we're going to do two Hayom Yoms together because they're related. This is the 23rd and 24th day of Kislev. For my grandfather's talk, grandfather again is the Rebbe Ratz talking, so his grandfather would be the Marash, the Tzemach Tzedek. Of Elul 5635, which is 1875, the 3 days before Shabbat are preparation for Shabbat. The Zohar says, in the second section, 63b and 88a, about Shabbat that from it all days are blessed, from Devarim 15:18. All days refers to the 6 days of the week on which God conferred a general blessing. God will bless you in all that you do. The blessing of Shabbat is for the days preceding it and the days following it. The preparations for Shabbat begin Wednesday and are announced by the brief Lechu Naranana, which is in our Siddur, page 78, which is the first three verses of Psalm 95, appended to Wednesday's Psalm 94. The same three verses begin the Friday night prayers inaugurating Shabbat, which is in our Siddur, page 128. So, of three verses. Now the next one is the 24th day of Kislev. All this is from Chabad.org, by the way, /daily study. Continuation of 23 Kislev. An explanation of the three verses beginning Lechu Naranana in a manner meaningful to everyone is as follows. Wednesday, we begin thinking, what will we have for Shabbat? This is a concern in a literal sense, and also spiritually. How can we Shabbos, i.e. make a real Shabbat? After all, every person is quite different on Shabbat than on a weekday. So we become a bit despondent. The solution is, Lechu Naranana. Come, let us sing. Have faith, trust. Come Thursday, it is now closer to Shabbat, and we still have nothing. It doesn't seem to Naranana so easily, and we realize we must do something. So we study Chassidus Thursday night, so that by Friday we sense the depth of, for the Lord is a great God and a great King, and with this a Jew can Shabbos. That's from Tehillim, by the way, the end of Psalm 95. The third verse of Psalm 95, which we say on Wednesday, I think also. The concept is very interesting because for a person to go into the Shabbos experience from the weekday, it's not so simple. Time wise, it is because it goes from Friday afternoon. All of a sudden, it's Shabbos. You light candles. After the 18 minutes, Shabbos has started, and you're ready to take on the holiest day of the year. But spiritually, it's not so easy because really it's a radical change. You're going from a world that's secular, from a world where work of all different manners is permitted, and you're going to a time that's completely supposed to be like an oasis, like a spiritual island of sorts, where there's no concern of physical reality. The only concern is you're to enjoy it as much as humanly possible. So we save money and we eat the best foods we possibly can on Shabbos, and we also wear our best possible clothing, and we take a longer time in our prayer, and we try to have our conversation elevated to the level of things that are holy, and we're trying to really make a distinction between the holy and the secular, and the Rebbe is coming to tell you that this doesn't start on Friday afternoon, like candlelighting time. You wouldn't be successful. So what happens is we start on Wednesday. On Wednesday we say in the davening, Shil Yom, Lechu Noranana, come, let's go sing. And Thursday we see the singing didn't do much. So, like it says in the previous Hayom Yom, that everyone studied Chassidus on Thursday night. So by studying Chassidus, you infuse your life with spirituality, with godliness, and you become cognizant and you reconnect to the concept that you are just like a spiritual being, and you're stuck in a physical reality. You have a physical body now, but it's not your physical body that defines you. And with Chassidus, your mind opens up and your heart opens up, and all of a sudden you're reconnected to this reality that you're a soul in a body, and soon it's going to be Shabbos. And so by studying Chassidus on Thursday, this gives you the potential, the strength that is, to make your house ready for Friday and Thursday night and Friday, to clean and to make it ready, to make the food and to make proper preparation so nothing stresses you out on Shabbos. And B, it puts you in the mindset of, that you're a spiritual entity. And yes, the interface is a physical interface, but you yourself are a spiritual entity. And with this, from Wednesday, if you start on Wednesday singing, Thursday studying Chassidus, and Friday getting ready for Shabbos, and even tasting the foods of Shabbos as a preparation for Shabbos, then you can really have a Shabbos experience, which this is something you can't put into a tape, unfortunately, and it's the greatest draw of religious life, is the experience of Shabbos. It's something that I can only say you have to go and experience it once in your life at a guest house, not by yourself, because it's very difficult to keep the laws properly. But I would suggest to everyone to call your local Chabad house and or any religious family you know, and ask them, can I spend Shabbos with you? And you'll see what a religious life is all about. You'll see the beauty of family life, of sitting at the table and talking about the Torah, or talking about your week, but infusing it with godliness. And you'll see going to shul for a longer period of time, not just in and out for Mincha Mara, but to sit and to hear the Sefer Torah being read. You'll see a lot of beauty there. You'll see singing, you'll see eating fine food. And this is really the main draw of a religious life, in my opinion, is the concept of Shabbos. It's a sign, it's a reminder that God made the world in 6 days, and on 7 days He took a Shabbos, He took a rest. And this concept of rest for the human, for the psyche, for the intellect, also for the soul and for the emotions, it's completely vital. I mean, without it, we don't really have a semblance of separation, of distinction. You know, the human being by his nature is always growing, always expanding and developing, because that's the kind of being he is. But without a concept of Shabbos, once a week to stop, and like Thursday night, we also do a thing called the Cheshbon Nefesh, which is like an accounting of the soul. You look back at the week and you see what you accomplished and what could have been accomplished in a better manner, and you try to make goals for the next week. Without this concept of one day a week, taking a Shabbos and just being in this spiritual oasis, in this island of time where no physical concerns exist, it's very hard to constantly grow and develop. And this is why people experience breakdowns on different levels. Some people have like midlife crises, some people have like a 30-year-old crisis, you can have it on different levels, but it's for this reason that people are not taking a Shabbos every week and just stopping and analyzing what happened the previous week and what they want to get accomplished in the next week. I hope this helps, and God bless. Happy Hanukkah.